Welcome to today's deep dive into one of the greatest wonders of the ancient world, the Colossus of Rhodes. This colossal statue has captivated the imagination of historians, archaeologists, and adventurers for centuries. While many details of the statue's creation, existence, and eventual destruction are still shrouded in mystery, we know one thing for certain. The Colossus left a lasting legacy in the world's cultural history. Before diving into the mystery of its existence and disappearance, let's first take a look at what the Colossus of Rhodes was. Standing tall at the entrance of the harbor of the Greek island of Rhodes, this giant statue depicted the sun god Helios, a symbol of power, hope, and divine favor. It was an engineering marvel, a work of art, and a symbol of the city-state's resilience and greatness. But how did such a statue come to be? And why is it still the subject of such fascination today? The Colossus was not just a statue, it was an icon. An icon that symbolized the strength of Rhodes, its people, and its victory in battle. It was built to commemorate Rhodes' triumph over Cyprus after the city of Cyprus, led by the ruler Demetrius, besieged Rhodes in 305 BCE. The people of Rhodes, despite their smaller size and resources, held off Demetrius' massive army, and they celebrated this victory by constructing the Colossus. But where did this incredible idea of creating a statue as a symbol of military strength come from? The story begins with a man named Chares of Lindos, a talented sculptor who, at the time, was one of the most renowned artists in the Greek world. In 292 BCE, after the siege was over, the people of Rhodes turned to Chares to design and build the statue, which they intended to be a testament to their resilience and their pride. The idea of creating a statue of Helios was not random. Helios, the personification of the sun, was the patron god of Rhodes. In fact, the Rhodians had long held Helios in reverence, as he was believed to have been the god who had guided the people in their hour of need during the siege. It was no surprise that they chose Helios to stand tall and proud as the symbol of their city. Now, let's talk about the construction of the Colossus itself. This statue wasn't just an ordinary sculpture. It was an engineering masterpiece. The Colossus was made of bronze, standing at an astonishing height of around 33 meters, about the height of a modern 12-story building. In an era before cranes and modern technology, constructing a statue of this scale was an extraordinary challenge. But the Rhodians, with the help of Chares and his team, rose to the occasion. They used a technique known as coring, which involved creating an internal frame to support the statue's outer shell. This frame was made from iron, and the outer layer was made from bronze plates, which were riveted together. The result was a structure that not only stood tall but could also withstand the powerful winds and sea storms that battered the island's coast. To get a sense of the Colossus' scale, imagine standing at the entrance of the harbor and looking up at this towering figure. Its arms were outstretched, seemingly reaching for the sky, and it looked as though it was protecting the city. The Colossus stood at a height of 33 meters, which made it one of the tallest statues in the ancient world. In fact, it was considered one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, alongside the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, and the statue of Zeus at Olympia. For over 50 years, the Colossus of Rhodes stood proudly, symbolizing the strength and resilience of the people of Rhodes. However, in 226 BCE, disaster struck. An earthquake, one of the most powerful to hit the region, rocked the island. The Colossus, despite its immense size and strength, was not immune to the forces of nature. The statue was toppled, and the once proud symbol of Rhodes lay broken on the ground. The collapse of the Colossus was a devastating blow to the people of Rhodes. Not only did they lose their iconic statue, but they also lost a symbol of their victory and pride. Yet, strangely, the Rhodians did not immediately rebuild the Colossus. Instead, they left the remains of the statue where it had fallen, and the ruins of the Colossus became a sort of memorial, a symbol of the impermanence of all things, even the mightiest of monuments. But the question remains, what happened to the remains of the Colossus? While the statue's remains were eventually sold off as scrap metal by a foreign invader, some accounts suggest that the sheer scale of the fallen statue left an impression on those who saw it. It was said that the massive legs of the Colossus could still be seen standing tall after the earthquake, a haunting reminder of the statue's former grandeur. This mystery of the Colossus remains has fueled centuries of speculation. Where exactly were the pieces taken? Who were the people responsible for melting down the statue's metal? The most popular theory is that the remains of the Colossus were sold to a Jewish merchant from Syria named Apollonius of Tyre. According to ancient sources, this merchant paid 300 talents for the statue's remains, which would have been enough metal to build a fleet of ships or create several other statues. The Colossus of Rhodes, though destroyed, continued to have an impact on later generations. Many artists and sculptors who came after Chares drew inspiration from the Colossus, and throughout history, various civilizations sought to replicate its grandeur. In the centuries that followed, many attempts were made to rebuild or recreate statues of similar scale and grandeur. However, none could quite capture the majesty and the symbolic significance that the Colossus had once embodied. In the modern era, the Colossus of Rhodes has become a symbol not only of the ancient world but also of human ambition and resilience. Today, there are numerous replicas of the Colossus in museums and public spaces, reminding us of what was once one of the greatest artistic and engineering achievements of the ancient world. In fact, plans have been made to rebuild the Colossus in modern times. There are proposals to reconstruct the statue on the island of Rhodes, using contemporary technology and materials. Though these plans have yet to come to fruition, they speak to the enduring legacy of the Colossus and the desire to reconnect with the grandeur of the past. While the Colossus of Rhodes may have been lost to time, its story continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. It stands as a testament to the ingenuity and creativity of the ancient Greeks, who managed to create something so monumental with the limited technology of their time. It also serves as a reminder of the fragility of human achievements, and how even the most powerful symbols of strength and triumph can be brought down by the forces of nature. The Colossus of Rhodes, like many other ancient wonders, reminds us of the impermanence of human creations and the unpredictability of history. The story of its rise and fall is one that speaks to both the aspirations and limitations of humanity. It was a marvel of ancient engineering, a symbol of victory and power, but it also stands as a cautionary tale of the unpredictable forces that shape our world. But even though the Colossus is no longer standing in its original form, the mystery of its creation, destruction, and eventual fate remains a source of fascination. From the way it was constructed to its eventual collapse, the Colossus continues to inspire wonder and awe. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the Colossus of Rhodes is not the statue itself, but the impact it left behind. It's not just the story of a giant statue, but the story of a people who dared to dream big, to create something larger than life itself. The Colossus of Rhodes was more than just a work of art. It was a symbol of human ingenuity, of defiance in the face of adversity, and of the eternal pursuit of greatness. Until next time, keep exploring the unknown and come back for another Mystery of Humanity.